Hello guys, and welcome to another version of this tutorial, Legal Method, a course designed by Bentex Tolapia at Northeastern University Gombe. So this is week 5. We're going to look at method of social control through law. Social control means how the law can control the chaos, fight, and issues that arise between individuals, how the law controls those kind of activities. There are so many methods. So now let's go and see the introduction. I will be straightforward and hitting it on the head. Law is one of the society's most important instrument. Instrument means it's one of the most a part of society very important of social control. So thus, law is one of the society's most important instrument of social control. Law in society assists in social control in a very important way. Social control refers to the mechanism, that's the strategies, mechanism, tools, and strategies an institution use to regulate human behavior, maintain order, and promote social cohesion. Social cohesion is social peace. Okay? Whereas religious, moral, and cultural also regulate behavior, law is distinctive because it is authoritative, backed by state power. So even though religious and moral values are assisting in regulating and making sure they are controlling the society to be in a peace way, but law has some kind of fast action because it is authoritative in nature and it is backed by sanction and enforced through coercion if necessary, like you be enforced coercion. So you enforce through coercion. Cohesion is like peacefulness, but coercion meaning harshness, okay, if necessary. So in Nigerian law, in Nigeria, law functions as a tool for social order in etc. in a plural blah blah. So the first method we are going to look at is the penal method. This means a method by which the law punish those that offended that committed crime or that committed crime that offended the state. The penal method relies on punishment for violation of legal norms. It is it is it is premised on deterrence, retribution, rehabilitation, and incapacitation. What is deterrence? Deterrence is an act of stopping those people that are thinking of committing a crime not to commit a crime. How? If someone steals something and you put him to jail, another person will not steal because he is afraid of going to jail. So many people are afraid of committing crime because of the punishment. So that's deterrence. Retribution, that's to retribute to that particular offender what he has done to the other person. For example, you kill someone, then they will punish you the same way you did to another person. That's the retribution, to do what you did to that person. Then rehabilitation, to change your mindset into good from bad. Then an incapacitation. I've forgotten incapacitation. So, example, legal context. The Criminal Code Act, Cap C 38, Law of the Federation to Nigeria 2004, Penal Code Cap etc. This is an example of how the law applies in how the society controls chaos through penal method using this code. Okay, in the case of Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Darie, this is a case. So another method is the grievance remedial method. Grievance remedial method is more of a civil liability way of solving dispute. So for example, when someone did something to another person, committed a wrong to another person, you'll be asked to pay remedy for the wrong he has committed. This method provides remedy to individual wronged by other rather than punishing offenders. It seeks to restore parties to their rightful position. That is the meaning of grievance method. So if you give explanation of this, so an example of it is civil liability in Nigeria through the law of torts and contract. Individual may claim damages, injunction, or restitution. This is an example, case example. Customary law dimension. Customary law provide remedy as return of bride price in dissolution of marriage, etc. So another aspect of another aspect. So then is the private arranging method. Private arranging method. This happens between contract or commercial transactions. Where parties have dispute, they will arrange privately and solve their dispute. Here, law enables individuals to organize their affairs through private agreements, particularly in contracts and commercial transactions. So the law has allowed that. Nigerian contract law, rooted in English common law, it empowered parties to structure obligation subject to legality and public policy. For example, the Company and Allied Matters Act of 2020 facilitate facilities incorporation and regulates private contractual agreement with corporate affairs, etc. So just this is another one part of regulating dispute, controlling the society through private arranging method. So constitutive method. The constitutive method establishes institutions, offices, and framework for governance. Law does not merely regulate, it creates the structure within which society operates. So that's how it is. Constitutional example is the 1999 Constitution creates three arms of government, that's independent commission such as Independent National Electoral Commission (ETC) and it defines citizenship in this. So it's more of constitutive method. This constitutive method, the way law control social like control the society through giving the set of rules and regulation that must be followed. Do you understand? Such as the ones that are in constitution and others that are in the chapter 4 of the Nigerian Constitution, etc. So that's the constitutive method and the administrative regulatory method. This method uses law to regulate industries, profession, and activities through agency and administrative framework. So this one is for people that are into administrative duties. It uses this method to regulate them. The method uses law to regulate industries, professions that's work, that are doing work and activities through agencies and administrative framework. So example, the Nigerian framework, the Central Bank of Nigeria Act of 2007 regulates money policy. The Nigerian Communication Act of 2003 empowered the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) to regulate telecommunication. So this is a way of regulating social control, but for people that are into activities or for people that are into work or when they are into profession. For example, in CBN, they have their laws that regulate how money is being carried, how money is being done. In NCC, that's National Communication Commission, the ones that are in charge of all the phone calls and all those things we are doing, they have the right to make their own laws. National Agency for Food and Drugs, that's NAFDAC, they also have their own laws that will assist them in regulating the society. So that's it about that. Then another one is the fiscal method. The fiscal method uses law to control society through taxation, subsidies, and financial incentives. It redistributes wealth and direct economic behavior. So another way you can control the society is through fiscal method, not physical. Fiscal, like inflicting something like a tax for them to pay when they commit a crime or something. So that's about that. An example is Nigerian tax law. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, which is assisting in generating this. Then the Finance Act 2023, which updates VAT, corporate tax, and digital service tax provision, etc. So this is just about how also it can control the society's way of controlling the society. Then the conferral of social benefit method. This method uses law to confer rights and entitlements, often from often for social awareness and human dignity. Constitutional foundation, chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution, and directive principle of the state policy. Okay, an example is the Pension Reform Act of 2014 established contributory pension. So this is a way of regulating the social control through conferring rights and entitlements that people have on the government. Is often for social welfare and human dignity. For example, the state has a lot of workers, so they are done with that particular activities. Maybe for 70 years they have been working, sorry, for 40 years they have been working for the state, or they have reached the age of 70, they have retired. So this is a way of controlling the chaos or control the society by making sure that it provided what they need through pension, gratuity, and etc. So, comparative and global best practice. So, let's compare how countries use their own, do their own social control. In the United States, administrative and fiscal method dominated modern governance, which with agencies such as the EPA and the IRS central to regulate regulatory control. So in the United States, they use administrative and fiscal method. Like I told you, administrative method is a way of method that control those people that are into work. Do you understand? Those people that are into profession, those people that are into the agencies, government agencies. So such as the CBN, the NCC, Nigerian Communication Commission, it regulates their activities. Then fiscal, this one is by taxes, right? So that's the one that is more dominant in the United Kingdom. They use it more than the modern governance. Okay. Then in the European Union, conferral of social benefit is integral with the chapter of fundamental rights of the EU guaranteeing social rights. And in South Africa, in the 1996 constitution, make socio-economic rights justiciable. Like they make socio-economic right justiciable. What is the meaning of something that is justiciable? Something that you can sue if they do not provide it for you, with court enforcing states' duties to etc. I'm not saying this. So, in conclusion, the method of social control through law demonstrates multiplicated roles in society. Law punishes wrongdoers, remedy grievance, empower private agencies, constitute institutions, regulate industry, direct economic activity, and confer welfare benefits. Nigerian plural legal system employ all these methods, reflecting both its colonial heritage and contemporary social political needs. So thank you very much. This is all about this note, and follow us in the future. We're going to see more on the notes. Thank you and have a wonderful time.